young people find very difficult in time management?
Who thrives in chaos
Yeah.
comes out to be the strongest.
Yes.
That's something I believe. That gives me a sense that okay, it's not about how profitable business of you are thinking. It's not about what kind of a revenue plan you have. The first step is kind of probably the idea you are passionate about. And when you know that, you are not insecure, you are content, you are confident, you are strong. Nobody can break you at that moment.
Hello everyone and welcome to GIBS podcast where real stories shape real leaders. So I'm Nancy Johnson, Head of Corporate and Alumni Relations, your host for today. In this episode, I'm privileged to have our powerhouse alumna from our MBA 2018-2020 batch, Sreeya Mazumder. Welcome, Sreeya.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Sreeya is a dynamic, purpose-driven professional who currently serves as the AVP of HR, Operations and Administration at Janitri Innovations. Her journey is a masterclass in organizational growth. Sreeya has spent over 6 years navigating the high-stakes startup ecosystem. Her foundation for this success was laid right here at GIBS, where she was an active leader in the Innovations Club. Wow, Sreeya, is that so? Entrepreneurship challenges and cultural clubs as well. And today, I'm so privileged to have you right in front of me, Sreeya. She stands as a champion for empathetic leadership and data-driven strategies. And I'm sure this episode is going to be an eye-lightening episode for all of you and for me as well. So Sreeya, it's an absolute pleasure to have you back in your alma mater.
It's an honor, ma'am. It's always an honor to come back to college, and I'm looking forward to this conversation a lot.
Exactly, Sreeya. I am super excited as well. So I had a warm-up session with Sreeya and we were talking about a lot of psychological and emotional impact on today's young people. So I'm sure this episode is going to give a lot of trending ideas and innovation and discussions and conversations and more dialogues to share with Sreeya. So Sreeya, what was your childhood like? Were you always a high-achieving student during your early school days as well? Because I see you are throngingly successful person.
Well, I've been born in a family of 18 and I've grew up witnessing love, empathy, a lot of family values and cultural values. And being a Bengali, it was very natural for my family to put me on different classes apart from academics, in dancing classes, singing classes.
Yeah,
so I did all of those along with academics since I was 2.5 years old. About high achieving, I'm not sure about the definition of that, but I kind of maintained my rank on the top 3 during my preliminary schools and my high school. And I also enjoyed my dance classes and singing classes. So my family and I would say, were happy and satisfied with how I turned out to be. I would say I did good.
Excellent, yeah. And I remember you saying that you were the open dancer for most of the events at GIBS as well.
Yes.
So could you please explain about how your life turned out at GIBS?
GIBS gave me a lot of things. I cannot summarize it into saying just cultural side or the professional side. It was the stepping stone for me. It was that bridge which connected me to the professional world, to me. I come from a very small town of Assam. We never had private companies or a lot of businesses around me, although my family is into business, but not that kind of a corporate businesses. So GIBS was an eye-opening journey. Got to know a lot of things, got an exposure, so much to learn. It was a complete new world for me. So GIBS helped in shaping me who I am today.
Excellent, excellent. Actually, Sreeya, I had shared my dialogues with a lot of alumni of GIBS in this podcast, and the one statement everyone keeps saying is family. GIBS has given that family connection to each and every student. So, how was your connect with your fellow, classmates and your batchmates?
Well, we all came very far from our homes
I know,
to study in GIBS, and this is what we all had. Uh, Ritesh sir, Pradeep sir, Sandeep sir, our professors, all the professors we had, all the friends we had, batchmates we had. That's all we had at that moment. We are new to Bangalore. We didn't know anybody. Uh, the people who are from Bangalore helped us know Bangalore. They showed us places. They showed us how to transport in buses. So connections we have built are still with us. My connections are there with my college, my friends, my professors, everybody. And I hold those connections very dear to me. Uh, they are very special. Uh, they are the part of my initiation. So they'll always be very close.
I know, that's very nice. That's very nice. So now coming slowly to your current position at Janitri. So you are currently serving as AVP of HR and operations and administration. What does your daily life look like? Because today, why this question is, I'm sure people must know why I've asked this question is, today, young people find very difficult in time management. All right. So I would not say, okay, as success defines differently for each and every one of them. So you rightly said that I do not know whether this is success, but how do you balance your time? This could be an eye-opening session for most of my young people who are watching out this episode.
If I have to define my day in one word, it would be chaotic. You know?
And it's okay to be.
Yes, definitely. Who thrives in chaos comes out to be the strongest.
Yes.
That's something I believe. 6 years of my journey has been into startups, very early age startups who are fighting, thriving, continuously, aggressively growing to make their mark in the industry, in the market, right? What would my day look like, a usual day, and how I turn out to in the time management, I would say. We as a startup realizes any requirement very promptly. There is not a lot of time back. We realize, okay, this has to be done. We see an opportunity, we start banging on the door. Now, in those situations, you cannot also take your day-to-day operations, the things you need to do in second priority. That also has to be on the first priority. So you're strategizing and you're maintaining at the same time. Right? So when the time management comes into the question, I have to delegate or I have to structure my work in such a manner that if I have human dependencies or my team's dependency, I would do it on the time where I'll have availability of them. And the things I can strategize on my own, I can do it on my own. I will do it on my time when I don't need them and they can do their own thing. Right? I would do the things which I need my founders, stepping in on when he's available, right? So I have to plan my day accordingly. I need to give my performance. I need to give my team's performance. I need to take care of the company's requirements as well. And I need to suffice what my founder's expectation is from me as well. So managing it always depends on where others' availabilities are, and as well as when my productivity is high for my own things.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you talking about journaling as well.
Yes.
Could you just talk about that? Because that's the need of the hour today, because hardly people find it procrastination, that just comes
Naturally.
as part of their daily routine. It's okay. If not now,
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so can you just talk about the journaling habit, because that really
Yes.
pulled me towards you. Please tell me about it.
A lot of people are transferring into digital things nowadays, digitally making notes and all. But I find it very satisfactory to write it
Writing.
on a diary or a
Perfect.
page. And
Perfect.
when I'm done with that task, I strike that off.
Perfect.
And that gives me so much of satisfaction. Okay, done.
Absolutely.
One thing done.
Absolutely.
Yes. I go to my office, I open my laptop, I go through all the emails, I write down, okay, this is all I need to do. And I do have a habit of mentioning the date. That kind of keeps myself, helps me to keep myself in check. Okay, yesterday's you did not do two things. You got to do it today, you got to finish it today. Why did not it happen? Was there something I could have done? Somebody I would have pushed, some other strategy I would have used to get that thing done. That thought process is very important for me because that is my performance metrics is for myself.
Right. Correct.
Right. So writing things down, then striking them off as done gives me a mapping on where I stand.
Absolutely.
Right? I feel it's very important.
Absolutely.
And just not about work. I would say even if you're having a feeling which a little complex in your brain and you're not able to sort that out, I would say write it down.
Excellent. And it gets registered in your memory as well. The more you write,
yes.
It's not about the digital writing, what I'm talking about. It's not about typing. It's about holding your pen physically in your two fingers and giving that pressure on your fingers, which helps the blood circulation on your brain. There are a lot of psychological background behind this. And I'm so happy that, as a successful person, still you follow the
traditional
way of, yes. And I still remember our school days, 25, 30 years back, our teachers say, practice writing.
Yes, I agree with that.
Plays an important role in settling the memory. So I am sure that Sreeya would stand as an example for many of the young people who are watching out this podcast. Yes, I'll have to start writing. Write something, scribble something, but write.
I write my own thoughts even if I'm feeling, okay, I'm feeling lazy today, not that productive on like weekends. I would write that down to, okay, let's do small things today. That helps me also take a lot of burden off my things that I'm not being productive. There's a guilt the day you are not productive. But when I write it down, I feel like, okay, I'm doing something for myself.
Excellent, Sreeya. Excellent. Yeah. And no wonder you have scaled up.
It's with a lot of people's support, blessings, and guidance, I'd say.
Absolutely,
but yes.
Absolutely. And your thriving energy. So how did your time at GIBS Innovations Club, sounding really interesting, specifically help you develop the people-centering transformation strategy?
Well, as I said, just not people-centric strategies. It helped me understand business first. That helped me in my startup journey. I would come to that explanation a little later. So Innovation Club, we had one session where a lot of people, external people came in, and we had to make a business plan and pitch it as they were investors and we are the founders of the company. So I had two more friends of mine and batchmates of mine with me who pitched a healthcare support company. I was probably just destined to end up in a healthcare company, but the idea of that the idea clicked probably just 24 to 28 hours before the actual pitching day. We were going through a lot of things. Okay, should we do food business? Should we do this and that? And then everything came and everything felt so usual. And we were thinking, what is that thing which Bangalore doesn't have right now? And of course, things strike as traffic of Bangalore. So we're thinking, okay, there are a lot of elderly people in Bangalore, and what would happen to them if they are alone at home and they need a medical support, and they are at that point not unable to make a call or reach out to somebody? What would happen then? That was the thought process which came to our brain. Well, we were not that well prepared or well knowledgeable on how to make a business plan, but we made something around that thought, and we won that challenge.
Yeah.
That gave me a sense that, okay, it's not about how profitable business of you are thinking. It's not about what kind of a revenue plan you have. The first step is kind of probably the idea you are passionate about.
Correct.
And putting your all efforts, your everything to that idea. That is what becomes big. If you're not passionate about that, I don't think it would be that big of a success.
That's it, right?
So Innovation Club, just not Innovation Club, we had a lot of people coming in and telling us how to wear, what to wear, how to sit, how to do etiquettes, color theories, everything.
Yeah.
And I would say just not Innovation Club, each and every aspect of this has helped from GIBS a lot. And about people-centric, when you are leading teams at early stage of your study itself, not even career, that lets you understand how the people psychology are. Because if you are controlling your friends, if you are able to influence your friends to take on an idea or take on a challenge, that means you can definitely, go ahead and influence the other people, because friends are the one who roast you first and most, right?
Very true, very true.
Right. So I think that did help me.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we were talking all about, how neatly and strategically things went. Let's talk about some fears. All right. What were the biggest fears you faced when building the HR department at Janitri?
Messing up. I mean, I was so scared of messing up, making mistake.
Yeah.
Within a few months of my joining to the team in Janitri, I was trusted with huge responsibilities by my founder. Responsibilities which were highly confidential, responsibilities which could impact the company, responsibilities to build something which were not there at all, right? And I constantly used to think that I should not mess it up. It was just, the thought behind it was not one, there were multiple. First, I wanted to prove I'm worth that trust, because I just had 1 year of experience at that moment. Second, I have very high integrity, so I don't wanted to lose that up and question myself or doubt myself. Third, I was given a platform to use my own ideas. I don't wanted to lose that freedom too. So these were the things behind my every actions and every decision I took during the first 2-3 years at Janitri, or with my founder. I again always focused on what could go wrong. As I said, off the camera we were discussing, if I consider an idea, in my thought it is already a good idea, but I used to go and think, okay, what are the things can go wrong in this idea? And I used to always focus on the negatives first. And if everything ticked off my satisfaction, even on the negative side, then I would consider proposing it to the management. And because I have gone through all the aspects, my proposal used to be so strong and confident, the management used to love it. Right? So the scary part was that, and I still carry the same thought, I should not mess it up.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
So are you engrossed with stress, thinking about, I should not mess it up, or is it okay to mess up sometimes?
It is okay to mess up sometimes.
Yeah.
It is definitely fine to make mistakes. You learn from your mistake. It's not like that I have not made any. I have made multiples, but I have been always blessed with the people around me who have said that's okay. Okay? Uh, I won't say I stress about it, that I should not mess up. As I said, I have a habit of writing it down.
Journaling, yeah.
So when I do that, I kind of have offloaded my stress or offloaded my thoughts. Now I have practical scenarios in front of me which I can take decision on.
Perfect, perfect. I had one very crucial question for you. Is it truly necessary for us to find people to say it's okay? Or is it okay if you have somebody standing inside, a Shreya, mini Shreya, standing inside Shreya, saying, come on, Shreya, it's okay.
I think you saying it's okay to yourself is more important.
There you go.
Yeah. You accepting your flaws, you accepting your wrongs is very important. When you know actually what kind of a person you are and not what you are trying to or pretend to be, that is the time you know your strength.
Absolutely.
And when you know that you are not insecure, you are content, you are confident, you are strong. Nobody can break you at that moment because you know your uniqueness as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Sounds good. Shreya, an interesting question to you. If I give you a time machine, what would you like to change in your life?
Nothing. I wouldn't change a thing. Such a great journey I had. I had seen COVID in the prime job time of my career. I have had so many wonderful professors to support me. I had so many wonderful people who said, it's hard, but you'll go through it.
Yeah.
I had my family all this while, supporting me.
Yeah.
I have found my, life partner during this phase. I wouldn't change a thing. I wish that I had probably guidance more, because all the companies I've worked till now, I didn't had anybody who could guide me on this from the same industry. Like if I'm an HR, I never had a HR on top of me or somebody I'm reporting to tell me, okay, Shreya, this is from my experience may go wrong. I had to always self-learn and self-taught. So I wish that would have been easier if I had, but otherwise I won't change a thing.
However, you have carved yourself. Moreover, very nice.
Yeah.
So, looking back at your journey from your MBA at GIBS to the current position what you're holding as an AVP, would you change anything specifically? I should have done this better. I mean, every one of us would have done. I mean, I'm not talking about regret. This could have been done a little better.
Of course, I had moments like that. When I came to GIBS, I was not really aware of the surroundings, companies, how companies work, how private companies work, and everything. So, if I had more knowledge, probably things would have been faster for me. I could have taken decision probably much earlier. That is something I feel, on the professional side, I won't say I don't have anything which I think I should have done better. I've had such a great choices, and that have led me to great places. But yeah, on the maybe decision size, I think a lot of time that okay, this decision I could have implemented faster. If I've taken a decision, but then I thought about it probably prolonged than it needed to. I could have implemented it faster, could have gotten things done in any other way, could have tried maybe multiple channels of reaching out to people when I could not in one. So yeah, but this thoughts comes later, not really when you are doing that, because when you are doing that, you are trying your best.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yes, there are moments.
Something strikes me now while listening to you. It's exclusively for the young minds who are watching this podcast. So it's a great idea to learn from others' experiences than me experiencing all by myself. Sometimes it's good to experience. I'm not saying no,
Yeah.
but learning from others' experience is also a wisdom.
Yes.
So when I make a mistake and you get to see that I've made that mistake, you also don't repeat that mistake what I have done.
Yeah. That's what I just said. I mean, if I probably have tried 5 different things, if I had somebody who has already tried 5 different things, they could have told me, okay, out of this 5, 2 works the best.
Correct.
But I had to try all the 5 to figure out that, okay, this 2 works the best.
Like you said.
Right?
Yes.
So it's like a little bit of more time that I had to take to get there, but I eventually got there. Right?
Perfect.
But yes, guidance is very much important.
Perfect. What's that one thought you would share to our GIBS students before we could wind up this podcast session?
I would ask all of you to find your greater purpose. If you want to do a job, if you want to do anything, what is that one goal you are working for? Do you want to build your own company? Do you want to gain an experience and climb to the top management? Do you want to eventually get to a position where you always wanted to be? So what is that greater purpose of what you are doing? We are in a very fast technologically moving time period right now. AI is there taking over. You cannot live without technology. We cannot say this is not needed. This is very much needed. But now we will have to reshape ourselves and structure ourselves in such a way that how we are using that technology to our benefit, how we are a enhancement or a additional package with this technology. That is something you'll have to build on. That is something you'll have to work on. And the most important thing is to be happy and to be content. So no matter what you do, be content and happy. That's all I would say. That's all I would say.
Lovely.
Yes.
Beautifully said, Shreya. And Shreya, I enjoyed this dialogue sharing with you. How are you feeling?
I have been feeling overwhelmed and so happy since I have made the plan. And coming back to the college, meeting all of you has been the greatest time I had in some time right now. Talking to you in this, sharing my experiences, exchanging ideas, I think I would take it for a very long time with me. This conversation has been amazing.
Thank you so much for being a part.
Thank you so much
Shreya.
for having me.
Thank you. So thank you so much. I'm sure you would all have enjoyed this conversation between me and Shreya. So until I meet you all till the next episode, it's me, Nancy, signing off. See you. Bye.